And we're back with WNTT Radio. This is Jorge Dixon.
And how we doing?
And right now we are going to be breaking down the Southwest bracket.
That's right. First game we got the number 1 seeded Pittsburgh Gamblers.
Coming in hot.
Coming in very hot, playing the Morgantown Kings.
Yeah.
Sorry, they've lost 5 in the season. They've won 13. Morgantown, just a little bit of a recap on them. They started the season 0-3, losing to St. Paul, Cheyenne, and Colorado Springs. Got whomped by Colorado Springs by 30, and at that point in the season, the coach of Morgantown, he just sat those guys down. He said, "We have a decision to make. We can play hard and play through this, or we can give up." The guys played hard and they played through that, and they won their remaining conference games and slipped up in the tournament. But.
And I think a big part of that turnaround was the play of sophomore center Rex Alley. Just has been playing really well lately, averaging close to double digits. Yeah.
I see senior leadership. I see Andy Avery and Wendell Blackmore just taking these young guys, aside and saying, this is how it is in League 5. You got to play hard. You got to play through things, and they did. So let's talk about Pittsburgh a little bit.
Pittsburgh's great.
Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh has won 15 straight games.
Yeah.
That's just unheard of in a league like this. Just so good, and they even scheduled some tough out of conference games. In Dearborn, the Stilettos played Pontiac. They played Jacksonville. They played Des Moines. Lost to Jacksonville, Pontiac, but still really good teams.
Their one Achilles heel this tournament might be their height. They're very short team all around. But first round at least, I love Nathan McNeil. I love Freddie Francis. Those guys do work and they get it done. So I'm picking Pittsburgh here.
Yeah, no disagreement there. Even though we've disagreed a lot in the last bracket, which I don't mind. I like a little disparity.
Yeah, I agree.
Discrepancy or discrepancy?
We'll ask Webster that later. Webster's dictionary. But
yeah, he's a good friend.
He is.
Anyway, moving on. We have in the next matchup a great 8-9 matchup. Idaho Falls, who just came through with a very prolific run through their Conference 22 tournament, beating both Colorado Springs, that community college down there. And then they beat the Sioux Falls Sound System along with Randall Henderson.
I just love how similar these teams are, Jorge. You look at, first of all, first thing I see is points per game. Idaho Falls 77.4 with only letting 66.6 up. And Rockford's basically the same exact numbers, 76 points for, 66 points against. Neither team is that strong in the glass. Each team is within 1 for plus minus rebounds per game. Both teams are young. Both teams have really good freshman classes. I'd say Idaho Falls is a little bit better. But it's going to be up to... This game will depend on who's going to be the playmaker. Who's going to be the one who takes that last shot? Who's going to be the one who has the confidence come tourney time to do that? So
yeah, and when you look at Idaho Falls, you can't help but think Ethan Harvey, the sophomore, just great leadership. He can score. He's their best scorer, and he's their best defender on their team. That's what you want out of a guy like that. And if he plays Sandy Andrews, I'm a little scared for Sandy a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The defense of Ethan Harvey is just something to definitely look out for. The only thing I have to say, the X factor I think in this game, Douglas Walters coming off the bench. He reminds me a lot of a Deion Waiters.
More of a young Deion Waiters, I think. But yeah, that's really I totally
don't know if you
agree.
See that, but
I totally agree. It's funny.
Kind of a shot in the dark, but
I know.
I see that. I think Douglas Walters will have a big game come off the bench. Clancy, also a great sophomore. They're very similar players. I think the rebounding battle and turnover battle is going to be what decides this game.
Frank the Tank, Hamilton, and Greg Wilson are going to they're going to cancel each other off the boards, I think.
Yeah.
They're both good rebounders. Neither great. What's going to happen is, can Rockford win the battles from the 4 and 3 in the backup 5 and 4 spots, can they win the rebounding battles? If they can, I think they win. And you know what? I see this team, I see what they've been doing, and I just think Rockford's better. Like, when you got Alan Ball, when you got Sandy Andrews, when you got the best defender in the league, I know that's an arguable statement, Terrence Tanner, you gotta like this team.
Yeah. And I do. I think the senior leadership from Terrence is going to be big. He's been here. This is his 4th NTT.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to win. But yeah, I'm going to pick Rockford here in a close, 5-point game tops. So
The big story is, I mean, Terrence Tanner is the only one on the team that's ever, won an NTT game.
Yeah.
And he's only won one, which isn't that great. But
in the starting lineup, that's ever won it.
Yeah. And moving on, we have Cedar Rapids, Canker Blossoms. Cedar Rapids. Sorry, against San Francisco Hippopotami.
17-1 record from San Fran here.
Really good record. Not a great conference, but really good record.
Yeah. Right away, when I look at San Francisco, I see record versus top 100 teams is 6-1. That impresses me. They have not played any top 50 though.
Mm-hmm.
They like to play it slow. They have that classic zone that they run. They've kind of breezed through this season, and this is gonna be their first test.
Yeah, I agree. Cedar Rapids is ranked 45, the best team they've played yet. We saw for San Francisco when they did play in the Inferno, they didn't do very well when they did play the top 50. They lost to Kalamazoo by a lot, lost to Scranton by a lot,
Yeah.
So that kind of concerns me for their team. They're good, don't get me wrong, but how good is yet to be seen.
Cedar Rapids, they just always can surprise. Todd Slade, Barry Slade's little brother, Steve Colon, and Rene Duarda, along with Paco Love off the bench, are all really good players. I think the experience mixed with the young talent is really impressive here, but I can't pick against San Francisco. Their only loss was a 1-point heartbreaker to Jefferson City, and we've already talked about them in their talent level. So, I'm going to go San Fran here. I think it'll be a close game. If Cedar Rapids end up winning, I wouldn't be shocked, Jorge. But I'm picking San Francisco.
Yeah. Sometimes I just question how much Coach Peter K likes his team. He doesn't really spend a lot of time recruiting. There's just a lot of things that he needs to man up as a coach, and I just don't think he's gonna. When you're worried if the coach is even gonna show up to the game, you can't pick him.
Yeah.
You just can't pick him.
You can tell he's kind of getting worried that he's on the hot seat because he actually just picked up a second job at Showroom Shine, washing cars over there. So, he's already kind of preparing for the worst in case he loses his job.
Yeah. And then we got the Dover versus Aberdeen matchup. I like it a lot. Dover, I'm going to say right now, this is the weakest bracket out there.
Yeah.
And out of that weakest bracket, Dover, I think, is the most talented team.
I love Dover. Michael Bird, this might be bold. I might put him in my first team all league.
Yeah.
I think Michael Bird's a great player.
Great team. Great player. Great team player.
I love James McGill, the freshman. Not ranked very high out of high school, but he's really come to play this year. Charlie Grimmin, of course, the senior leader for Dover. And didn't you have some news on our boy Eugene Brown?
Yeah. Just found out he has a girlfriend.
Wow.
And coming into the NTT, it's a little worrisome. What's he gonna be doing in between the games? Is he gonna be calling her, or is he gonna be with his team?
Yeah. Go Huskies told Eugene he can't have his cell phone to text during the games anymore. He was doing that for a couple of games. Just hey baby, love you. Hey baby, I made that shot for you. Those kind of texts,
Yeah. You can't do that.
And that was
Eugene. You can't do that.
Yeah. So Eugene, man up. Keep your romantic life separate from basketball just for a couple weeks.
It's just too public right now. I'm worried that the Aberdeen fans are gonna just start chanting her name during the game while he's taking free throws.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at Aberdeen for a second.
Trey Justice.
Yeah, I like Trey. Big boy, and he's this is his last year.
Uh huh.
Yeah, you have fans, you have the Aberdeen fans calling for justice, saying we want justice.
We want justice.
I love that chant, I really do. But I mean, overall, just this might sound kind of rude or ignorant, but I think it's just a lot of no-name guys to me.
Lawrence Vale can do a little bit.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Yeah, it's up to Coach VT 3-stick to pull these guys around. I'm gonna go Dover here.
Yeah,
seems like
only way I can see VT 3-stick winning is if Eugene Brown gets too distracted by the girl problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going Dover.
Dover, no doubt about it. And with the 3-14 matchup, we have the Pensacola Vultures, fresh off their Conference 12 championship, as well as 9 straight wins. Great job there for that team against the Hot Springs SaberCats.
Yeah. Pensacola coming out of a uprising Conference 12. I love this conference. A lot of talent in here. Just the way that Pensacola's been able to kind of dominate conferences with so much skill has been so impressive to me. You got Miami, who, given one more year, and I think they could be a 3 seed in this tournament.
Yeah, Orlando, Indianapolis, Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And I think it's all led by Harry Ball.
Yeah, Harry Ball in that 6'6" ranked sophomore class with Tyrone Foster and David Lane, just a great shooter. Sorry for the stutter. Here's my problem, Jorge.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. The last time, you look at the season 65 Cleveland Mocs with a team very similar, even shorter than these guys. They made it to the championship game. But that's the only time I've seen a team with this much of a lack of height do so well. It's not very common.
I think it's also comparable to Manassas in season 68.
Yeah.
Making it to the championship, losing to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
But still, not much height.
It's hard for me to pick against Pensacola right now, though. Looking at every single one of these individual games, and how they win them. They know how to win games in Pensacola, and that's all I can really say.
Hot Springs is good. You got John Pittman. You got Gerald Robinson. Like, 2 really good players. John Pittman's great. They have a great freshman class. They got Bo Meter.
Yeah.
Like, they're good. They're really good.
They've dropped 5 games. Really inexperienced with those freshmen. I don't think it's their year at all. I think it's. Can we just comment on how it's really funny that Indianapolis is in Conference 12 with 4 other Florida teams and then other New Orleans and Tuscaloosa, all these just Southern teams, and Indianapolis is just kind of thrown in that bunch.
Yeah,
it's kind
of
of funny.
Sure.
Totally off topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna pick Pensacola here just because they know how to win games.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't want you to discount the talent that's on Hot Springs, because they're good. They're a good team.
Discount double check. I don't know where I'm going with that. But you said discount, and I started thinking about it. All right, let's move on.
You got Tuscaloosa against the Little Rock Sabreteurs and Coach K Money. Really good game. It's all going to come down to A, B, and C. Harry Hudson, and Harry Hudson. He's that spoon. He stirs it. He plays great defense. He can score. He can assist. He's their all-everything player.
Yeah. I'm gonna start talking about Little Rock right away, though. I love their backcourt. I love their backcourt so much. I'd take their backcourt in a date if I could.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably Olive Garden. Maybe even more fancy than that. But, this is another team with just, not a lot of big names. I think that Coach Caprica, Little Rock. Okay, hold on. Is it Caprica or is it K Money? Does K Money still own the team?
K Money is the coach.
Okay. Thank you.
But he's under the name Caprica.
Okay. Why K Money? K Money loves to play his freshmen in slow and get him, use that experience. I think that's a really good strategy, just to prepare for the NTT. But both these teams are just kind of like, I don't think any of them really have that much of a chance to go that far.
Here's the thing. I'm going to pick Tuscaloosa. You want to know why? Because I want to see a rematch between Pensacola and Tuscaloosa.
Well,
Tuscaloosa is feeling really ticked right now. They lost to Pensacola by 1 point in the conference championship. It was just a heartbreaker. And Tuscaloosa's like, I don't think that Francisco Jimenez is that good. Like, they were really upset. David Lane hit a buzzer beater. Like, when Grubbs hit that shot with 27 seconds to go, Tuscaloosa was on top. They were so excited. They just keyed on Jimenez. He missed it, but David Lane got the rebound and they won.
That was a great game. I wet my pants watching that game.
Yeah.
Because I was so excited.
I mean, I was pretty sad because I was rooting for Tuscaloosa. But, I don't think we're supposed to have rooting interest, but I did anyway. I don't care.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, I don't know. I think that, yeah, I really want to see that matchup, so I'm going to
I'm picking Tuscaloosa as well.
Just because I want to see that matchup. And
it's hard to pick against K Money.
He made it to the championship last year.
Yeah.
And he lost to
so
Carson City. How'd they win last year? I don't know.
They're good.
They did, though. It's not a girl. Coach Megan C is not a girl. We found that out for sure. All right. Moving on. The last matchup, we have, the last two matchups, we have the Cambridge Sidewinders against the Austin Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Yep. Cambridge against Austin. What do you see?
Billy Kelsey, really good point guard. Knows what he's doing. Can play. Fabian Mendoza. Not sure if he's related to Nelson, or I don't even know if that's Nelson's last name.
I don't know what you're talking about. So.
I thought it was the president of South Africa.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe
you're
it's
right.
Mandela. Or
I know who you're talking about. I think
close
it's
enough.
Close to that.
I think they're related.
They might be related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brothers or sisters or.
Cambridge only lost 2 games this year. Billy Kelsey's a great point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. He knows
Peter
how to control
Stevens
the game.
down low.
Yeah, Lawrence Scott. Leslie Scott's little brother. He's been really good this year.
Doesn't shoot like Leslie.
Yeah, not at all. Totally different player. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm taking a look at Austin real quick.
Yeah.
One thing that really bugs me. Yeah, one thing that really bugs me about the Razorbacks is that they have more turnovers than their opponents do. And I think that's hard as an NTT team to come in and have that much trouble with the ball. Harold Edwards with 2 a game. Shooting guard Craig Wingett with 2.1 a game. I don't like, and especially playing a guy like Lawrence Scott, who's going to be handsy and going to be getting in there. I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Billy Kelsey's not known for getting steals, nor is Fabian, and that's where a lot of their turnovers come from, their point guard. And you know what?
You can turn over the ball by more than just get, a steal. There's more ways to turn the ball over.
That's true, Howie. But if you remember correctly, there was a team that was undefeated until the NTT about 3 or 4 years ago in Rockford.
Yeah.
They were horrible at turning the ball over. They always turn the ball over, and
they lost.
And they lost in the second round. But we're not talking about the second round here. We're not talking about it. We're not even talking about the third round. We're talking about the first round, okay?
I think you're proving my point right now. Turnovers are hard in the NTT. I'm going Cambridge.
Yeah, I agree. I tried making a point, but I kind of contradicted myself. So I'm going to also go with Cambridge. Moving on, we have the Jackson Milkmen, coached by Coach K. Gunn, along with their star player, Stanley Eason.
Here, okay. Against the 2 seed in Amarillo, the Scorpions, who are undefeated. Here's what I see.
Underneath that Amarillo sky. That's a good song. Brings back memories.
It does.
Back on the farm,
Yeah, that's right. You know what else brings back memories for Jackson is their 2 losses coming into this. I think it's really hard to come into the NTT with confidence once you've lost 2 games in a row, facing an undefeated team. I just don't see Jackson making a run for this game.
Yeah. And, you got Eugene Rochester being a senior.
Yeah.
And you know what? You even got Percy Sales. Show a little mercy for Percy.
Yeah, I love
Percy.
Percy.
Show a little mercy for Percy. He just can do it all. I love this team. They've always had great post play. Always. It seems like every year. And Ralph Riley is just he's a great player too. He puts them all together.
It's hard to argue against an undefeated team, especially in the first round.
What do you think about their point guard though, Rene Michelard?
Yeah, coming out of France. I don't like his turnovers to assists at all. I don't like his scoring ability. I don't like how. Yeah.
I really don't. That's the only player I don't like on their team.
Yeah, I think he's not even that good of a person. Kind of gets selfish with the ball. Kind of gets selfish with his food and his his own stuff in his apartment. Don't ask me how I know that stuff. I just do.
It's classified information.
Yeah, I think Amarillo's gonna win. But we'll talk about how far we think they're going. At least me.
All right. Well, with that, let's get into your pick for a team to be on upset watch, a team to be a sleeper, and a champ.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to go team that I think is on upset watch is Pittsburgh. The Gamblers, the 1 seed. I think they're going to get past Morgantown very easily. I think that the next round against Rockford or Idaho Falls will be a tough game. And basically every game after Morgantown I think is they'll be very beatable. My 2 favorite teams in the entire bracket, I'm going to go with Pensacola and Tuscaloosa. Sorry, Pensacola and Dover. I'm all about the 3-4s this year.
Yeah.
I really am. I think Pensacola and Dover will make it to the finals. I guess I'm going to tell you everything here.
Okay.
I think that...
so, is that your sleeper, Pensacola?
Yeah, Pensacola and Dover. Both my picks there. In my champion, I'm going to say Pensacola. I think they know how to win games, and that's why. And
you always got to worry about Eugene Brown with the girlfriend.
Yeah, but I think that he's going to be able to get past that. Sandy Andrews did earlier this year. People were worried about him coming in with the girl situation, but he just ended up playing better, so that's what I see is going to happen with Eugene Brown here.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, upset watch, without a doubt, I'm going to, without a doubt, I'm going to pick Pensacola. I can see him losing the first round, and if they don't, I can definitely see him losing the second round.
Wow.
I know they're your champ, but I just don't see a lot. I don't see a lot of hype for sure on that team.
Can I give you my upset watch?
Yeah.
I don't think I have yet. Little Rock. Never pick against K-Money. I already did, but I'm telling myself never to do it. He's a good coach, very good coach. I think he has his team in a position that they'll be ready to play.
So are you switching it from Pittsburgh to Tuscaloosa?
No, because Tuscaloosa is a 6 seed. They're not really favored that much over Little Rock anyway. I think Little Rock has a chance to do things.
You just wanted to get that out there.
I just wanted to get that out there.
You just want your voice to be heard.
I always want. That's why I'm on NTT radio. WNTT
well,
radio.
Howie, don't worry, man. Your voice is definitely heard. I enjoy you.
Thanks, Jorge. I enjoy you a lot.
Anyway.
You're very enjoyable, Jorge.
Yeah, for a sleeper team, picking Dover wouldn't make sense because I think they're the favorites.
Yeah.
But for a sleeper team, I'm gonna pick Cambridge. I think they might be able to get past Amarillo, and maybe even get past Tuscaloosa or Pensacola, whoever wins there. I can see Cambridge making a dark horse run at the Elite Eight.
I see you. I don't see it happening at all, but I see you.
Yeah, that's my sleeper.
Okay.
And for my champ, I got Dover.
Okay.
Very talented. Since coach Go Huskies has put that cell phone ban on his players. They've just been playing better, and they stepped up to a point where they can win, and I think they can make a run.
Yep.
So yeah, for Jorge Dixon,
How we doing?
and we're gonna be leaving. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the last one, the Southeast bracket.